You know, I just realized I had my headphones in, so let me restart this. Shalom, shalom. 8144, I'll praise Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Shalom, before I get started, I'm going to give all the glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakar Kodash. Hey, double honors unto my apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and safety to all the sincere Akim that's out here pushing this word in truth and in all sincerity. Shalom. Shalom to the sisters as well. Like I was saying, I don't necessarily have a title for this just yet. But I saw this tweet, and I thought I would do a response to it in the spirit. Lord willingly, it's edifying. Shalom, shalom. All right. And of course, I'm driving, so I can't directly see the tweet that I'm speaking on. But this individual made a statement about basically saying that it doesn't get spoken on enough about the psychological warfare and the brilliancy of the civil rights movement. All right, speaking on your Martin Luther Kings and so many other figures. There was a lot of figures, of course, during that time period that fought. Pretty sure that this individual is speaking more so on the non-violent approach of Martin Luther King and so many others, which I would argue, as I said, I couldn't come up with a title, that the plight, the fighting style of the Hebrew Israelites will trump this from, I'm going to go as far as to say a time period, the guy said 1950 to 1970, give or take. Well, I would say from 2007 until now will go down as the greatest fight, all right, psychologically ever. All right. Sorry, got something in my tooth wrestling up. Now, of course, for time periods, we could go as far back as to, of course, Elder Abba Bivens, and that time period all the way up, But really, I'm focusing in on the mission of the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, because the apostles and elders of Great Millstone are still fighting and holding fast to the fighting style of which Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai requires us to deal with. What does that mean? Where you get Martin Luther King about a non-violent approach, he jacked that from the Bible. Okay? Now, he missed quote or certain scriptures that he used about turning the other cheek. That didn't have anything to do with the other nations. All right, that turning the other cheek is speaking of your brother, and specifically your brother within this walk, within this ministry, all right, that you're fighting next to, about keeping peace with them. Now, there are scriptures that do tell us, Romans the 13th chapter, about basically respecting the powers that be, all right, in Romans 13, all right, because they basically they don't bear the sword in vain. So, understanding that the Lord set that power up. And a lot of individuals don't grasp that understanding of the fact that even this devil, all right, was set up by the Lord. The international bankers, the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, you name them, was set up to be in that power seat by the Heavenly Father. They didn't set themselves up. Nothing happens by coincidence. Nothing is by accident. Even the wicked have a part in this story. All right. But that's why the Lord is setting up, as it says in 1 Corinthians 4 and 9, that what? The Israelites, he set forth the apostles last, as it is appointed as it is unto death, to be a spectacle. That's the apostles and elders. All right. All these other movements, they have a lot of weaknesses and didn't stand the time. Nobody's looking at the Christian black church to lead them into these times, into these devastating times, you know, looking for answers from Jamal Bryant and these different weirdo pastors. That's not what's happening today. All right. That time is over. Christianity is over with, man. Nobody's looking at Christianity as a beacon of light, as a center of wisdom to lead the people. Okay? Look at what we've done. We're fighting this war, and people are trying to make us out to be this violent group. But what violence have we brought upon the people? You know, you have this demon vocab Malone going around, which in all actuality, Christianity has shed millions of people's blood. Okay? But what have we done? What have the Israelites, what harm have the Israelites brought to the people? What lives have we taken because you don't believe what we believe? Who are we forcing to be Hebrew Israelites? Not a soul can say that they have been forced into this. Okay? Or we put us, hey, if you don't bow to what we're saying, we're gonna wield this, we're gonna take your head off. Like Islam. Islam is another violent religion. Christianity is a violent religion. All of these religions are violent. All right? So again, what is that? 1 Corinthians 10 and 4. For our warfare is spiritual and not carnal. And and I've said this before, through the Spirit, Yahweh Shai, who the world inwardly calls Jesus Christ, is a King of Kings and a Lord of Lords, but he's also a warrior of warriors as well. And he's given us a new fighting style or technique that will go down, will have us go down as the greatest warriors of all time as well. We're fighting a war and we're not physically fighting anybody. Think about that. We're fighting. The world hates us. They're always challenging us. They're always battling us. The world wants to put us to death. The world wants to shame us. We're considered great, well, all the Israelites, but I'm just focusing on Great Millstone, where we are part of the what is that, the Southern Poverty Leadership whatever that SPL, I don't know, you know, these different acronyms that list us as hate groups. So these entities are preparing to bring war against us, and we're at war. Scriptures say our warfare is not carnal but spiritual. And then a lot of Israelites, they don't grasp that. When you look at ISUPK, they're in parks, pepper spraying themselves and, you know, fighting, physically training. The Lord told us to be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. And who's doing that? Who is honestly, when you think of Israelite groups, what Israelite group is actually fit the bill of being wise as serpents and harmless as doves? If you're being honest, the only group you could say that to is Great Millstone. Who do we harm? We get rebuked by other Israelite camps by pushing this vibration of being wise as serpents and harmless as doves. Lord didn't present us to tell us to go to the world and be chicken hawks. or, you know, vultures. That's not us. You know, we aren't in a position of physically going to war with any of these nations. All right, but we are spiritually kicking their ass. We are kicking this place's ass. We are whooping Esau's ass spiritually. A lot of Israelites don't like the spiritual aspect of this fight. They want to go directly to the Kraken's craniums, breaking bones, spilling blood. But they don't see the importance of this aspect of the fight. They don't see that. They think this is corny. Hey, ISUPK told us that basically applying wisdom is basically for pussies. And that's why this devil knows who, just like this devil knows who to get out of pocket. He knows exactly which Israelite groups he's gonna provoke to get out of pocket. See, right now, Issachar is the so-called Mexicans. They're the group, they're the tribe that Esau, the so-called white man, has decided to poke at. All right, to use as a reasoning to implement draconian laws and measures. And they're going for it. They have no covering. They have nothing. It's actually pathetic when you look at it. You Mexicans look pathetic. But that's Esau. Esau is the scriptures say he is a be sober, 4 fours. That's the spirit. Be sober, be vigilant, for the devil cometh down. Basically, what I'm roughly paraphrasing. He is as a roaring lion seeking to devour you. And lions don't go out. Lions don't go out. And when you look at lions and their fighting styles, they're not out there looking to fight to take down a fucking hippo, a male hippo. They're not out there looking to take down a rhino. What they looking for? They looking for that baby gazelle. They looking for that buffalo that got away from the group. And Issachar, as we've been saying for years, the so-called Mexicans, they're ignorantly isolated from everybody. Mexicans have isolated themselves from so-called Negro people, and they've isolated themselves from other Latin tribes. And Esau sees that. The so-called white man sees that, and he knows, oh, I got me one. That's who I'm going to get. I'm going to get you Mexicans. And you're going to fall for the trap. And you are falling for the trap. And we're going to see what happened this weekend. But as far as what our fighting style, this is a new style of fighting. See, Martin Luther King attempted to, but it wasn't for him, which he was trying to use our non-violent approach in a coon aspect. Yeah. Go look at you, which we have been. I've been multiple times. I've been to the Martin Luther King exhibit or museum or whatever you want to call it here in Atlanta off of Auburn Avenue. And basically, if you go in there and you look at the whole thing, you could see that they're sellouts. It was the Martin Luther King Museum or whatever you want to call that shit downtown in Auburn Avenue. It literally shows you that Martin Luther King was a sellout. He's got this. Here it is. This devil got pictures down there with the Rothschilds. All right. This guy was a sellout. All of them were, technically speaking. That's why even with this lesson, this is as the scriptures say, our war, tearing down strongholds. The civil rights movement was a stronghold that deceived a lot of our people. So here we are. If you can't get down with this style of fighting, then this isn't for you. Period. because our approach is a non-violent approach. Don't get me wrong, we're not pussies. We're men. Hey, even the Lord rebuked Peter. When those Roman centurions came and grabbed up Yahushua, Peter pulled out his sword and he cut the centurion's ear off with a precise precision. Sink. And what Yahushua do? He rebuked them and said, he that liveth by the sword shall die by the sword. And healed the man. You see? But see, our people let pride get in the way, especially of the Israelites. And what we're seeing is like we've been saying for years, is that Jacob and Esau will lock horns. The elite of Esau and the elite of Jacob will see each other. But a lot of you Esau already know, oh yeah, them ain't the prophets. Them ain't the men of the Lord. Because you're not following what the scriptures say. Scriptures say we will walk by faith. Our weapon, again, I'm 2 Corinthians, the 10th chapter. The weapons of our warfare are spiritual, not carnal. Bringing into captivity every thought and bringing down these imaginations. What we are doing is the greatest psychological warfare ever. We are defeating this place. Yeah, Salakia, my phone it got too hot. Insane, man. But yeah, like I said, I'm about to close up here anyway. I just wanted to speak on the understanding that this what we're doing. The apostles and elders, starting with our apostles and elders, coming online almost 20 years ago at this point, has changed the world. And before that, the apostles and the elders of old, our apostles and elders of old, hold up. Yeah, matter of fact, let me close this out. Shalom.